Supposedly, they say the reason for Mihawk training Zoro is for new competition since Shanks has his missing arm.
I don't think it was
I don't
that.
know. I don't think so. I don't think so because
I think
he
that led Mihawk to change. Like Mihawk was looking like at the end of the day, this is the way I interpret it. Mihawk was basically bored because there's no one that could challenge him, right? All he lived
not
for
anymore at
was
least. Not
fighting,
anymore
right?
at least.
Yeah, but I'm
Anybody that
saying like
could is dead.
at a certain point in time, all Mihawk lived for was fighting, right? Like he was looking for constant challenges, right? He hated Shanks so much because Shanks placed all of his bets and everything on Luffy. He never
On
understood
Luffy,
that. You
yeah,
remember
yeah,
whenever
yeah.
he lost his arm, you remember Shank and Mihawk had a clear disgust. Like he was clearly disgusted with Shanks for Shanks betting his whole life on Luffy. That was his chance to bet his life on someone else.
Well, not betting his life, but betting
Not
his
betting his life, but
yeah,
betting like his
betting his
aspirations and
arm's
shit.
future. Yeah.
Yeah, he was betting his aspirations and shit on Zoro the same way that Shanks bet his shit on Luffy.
I can agree to that. I think that because if you want to view it from that lens, and I think it's easier to argue that than what you're trying to say, Stud, because if you want to argue it from that lens, then that makes more sense in the sense that he saw what Luffy was becoming, right? Like when they all ended up wherever they ended up, like he saw the trouble and everything else that Luffy was causing, right? And so because when Zoro went into the training, it was right after Marineford, right? I'm not tripping. Am I tripping? No, I'm not tripping. Because
it was right after
Marineford.
Marineford.
It was because they did the 2-year thing. Yeah. So when they did that, like he saw what Luffy was becoming, and he saw what Luffy was capable of with his own eyes, and I think that you could argue that he saw why Shanks made that decision, and I felt like he could understand it now. So that maybe that kind of led to his reasoning with Zoro because of the experience that he also had with Zoro in a similar way that Shanks had with Luffy, right? Because Shanks had experiences with Luffy when Luffy was a kid in a way that made him like I believe that he kind of saw some of like Roger in him, right? Like because of the stuff he was like the king of the pirates, all that kind of business, right? So with Zoro, when he turned around and he said like he didn't give him his back and he like just literally let him cut him, I feel like that created a similar bond, or not bond, but like I guess you could call it just string of connection, some facet, some way, whatever way you want to put it, with Zoro in a way that Shanks had with Luffy. Like I feel like if you that could be a way to interpret it, and that you could also justify. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but I do think that and the reason I say that too, Stud, is because you have to think of it like this, bro. Do you actually think that right now Zoro could beat Mihawk? Like
no,
I know,
no.
but that's my point. Is that the training that he did with him was not enough to make him so strong that he could beat him in any way. Like it took him 2 years to finally start beating some fucking gorillas, bro.
Wait, but that actually leads me to add a question, right? So do you remember what was it? Was it in Alabasta? Who was that man's that Zoro fought that taught him how to cut steel?
The steel?
Right?
Yeah.
Right. Let me ask you something. On some real shit. Do you believe that Mihawk could truly cut through anything if he put his mind through it?
You know why that's hard to answer, and why someone could argue that even if I did say
because
that was
of
true,
Diamond Jozu.
because of that makes it that no matter what you say, that somebody could argue against that.
But then, okay, but clearly you and me know that was not me. Like, obviously someone could argue that, but real people know that Mihawk really wasn't trying in that situation, right? Or not to say he wasn't trying, but that wasn't like last resort type Mihawk shit. You know what I mean? Like he threw that cut at Whitebeard to see what the difference was.
But you know what the problem is with that? It's all hypothetical. That's the problem with it. It's the problem with it. It's all speculation. It's not like with when you bring up the diamond thing, it's at least concrete, right?
It is
so
at least concrete,
like
right.
so like we could go for the rest of the series and Mihawk Mihawk could kind of just be like, you know, I mean, I don't really see Oda as that kind of person because he's never really been that kind of person. Like, did he even brought like fucking who was the character that he even brought? See, I haven't read the manga, but I do know this. Like Lucci, dude. Like, prime example. Another great example was fucking what's his name when they got to Dressrosa during the tournament. Fucking Spring dude. I forget his name right now.
Bellamy.
Bellamy. First of all, that Bellamy scene is another one of my favorite scenes in anime all time. The first Bellamy scene, the first Bellamy, yes, that first Bellamy scene is GOAT.
Like when they first after he beats their ass in the bar and he comes back outside and Luffy punches him. Talking about that one?
When he comes back
like
because when they
it's
stole
their
the gold.
very
When
first
they
beat.
stole the gold and they came back.
Yeah.
That. So no, I don't think so, but I think it's just the first stepping stone for Zoro to be in competition for Mihawk because I think he sees that Zoro will become stronger enough to fight seriously one day. You know what? That could be argued. Again, it's a lot of hypothetical, right? But that could be argued because in the same way, because like you can use the same example that I just used, in the same way that Shanks believed that Luffy would become who he is slowly becoming, right? He could also believe that Zoro could become who Mihawk currently is, if not even stronger, right? I'm not saying that he thinks that. Don't quote me, right? But I'm saying that he could believe that could be true. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I could see that being a thought process and a way that you could go down and it could be believable. But in terms of like concrete information, like, because like we could talk hypotheticals all day. I'll talk One Piece hypotheticals for the till the end of time, bro. Like even once the story is complete, I'll still talk hypotheticals, right? So like but it's hard when there's no more source material, right? Like if this movie comes out and it shows and it shows Shanks and Mihawk fighting and they show Shanks only fighting him with one arm and it being a complete fucking draw, I will always believe that Shanks with two arms would be a god. Like, I'm sorry. Like, it would completely make my belief more concrete. Do you get what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
like, once you have that source material to actually draw from, it changes everything. Like, cause like what, like talking hypotheticals, like doesn't mean anything once there's source material. Once there's source material, it doesn't matter what the fuck you want to create a hypothetical about. It doesn't matter. Like, it's written. Like, you don't just get to make up your own shit, which a lot of motherfuckers like to do. But I think Oda is such a good writer that I don't believe that we're gonna have a situation where we don't get more info on Mihawk and Shanks. Like, there's no way. The amount of times
I do not that this has anything related to that situation. Considering that the next arc will be the last, if we're being 100% honest, I don't see Oda answering all the questions and mysteries that he has created. I don't see all of them being answered before this series ends, and that scares me because all the time that I've invested into One Piece,
but you don't know.
I don't want to invest that into another spin-off.
You don't know. You don't know.
I don't, but Chris, let's be honest now, Brad.
Because I'm not saying that like he could answer every question there, but you don't know about OVAs that could come out. You don't know about one shots. Like there's so many different things.
Yeah, but are OVAs canon?
What do you mean? Yes, dude. Fucking Kenichi fucking OVAs are canon, if I'm correct. Fucking...
Yeah, no. You're 100% right. But when has Oda ever dropped an OVA or anything that?
When has he ever had a reason to? The
The
series is still going on, right?
The series is still going on, yes, but I'm saying like he's had multiple chances to drop canon movies, bruh.
I mean,
the Douglas Bullet movie could have been canon. If we're being
I don't even know if
realistic.
I remember the Douglas Bullet right now. I know I've seen Gold. You know which movie I haven't seen because I didn't go to theaters to see it and I still haven't sat down to watch it?
Which one?
Stampede.
Stampede, yeah, that's the one with Douglas Bullet. That's
Yeah,
one.
I still
That's
haven't.
the
Oh,
recent
okay, that's
one.
why. That's why. Yeah. I didn't go to theaters to see it, so that's why I'm not understanding what you're saying. 'Cause
If you do watch it, it's hard to put Shanks anywhere without putting Mihawk right there, like behind him, because it's like, yeah, they haven't fought in a while, but considering that they were rivals, like I can't put. You're right, right? I can't put Mihawk over Shanks, but I can't put Shanks over Mihawk either. So I put them as a pair, you know. But I mean, like
yeah,
Kaido,
you know what? I agree to that. I agree to that.
like yeah, like you can't put them over each other, right? Like one of them does have the title, but the hype, like all right, while Mihawk does have the title of World's Strongest Swordsman, the hype for Shanks is still greater. You know what I mean? And he
That's my
did
thing.
stop
No.
Marine
Yo,
Corps.
BC. That's my thing because like if you think about it, dude, Shanks showed up and that was it, bro. That was it. That was it. Good night. Everybody go home. Like the party's over. Like he shut that shit down. Like that's my thing is like you.
Yeah, nah, bro.
I
His whole
understand it
crew is
hasn't been
cold, bro.
confirmed. I understand it hasn't been confirmed, right? But like it's hard to scoff at that, right? Like the fact that he was able to show up and like just like do that. Like and then on top of that, you gotta think
No,
about
but
it.
let's get one thing clear though, because a lot of people think that Mihawk ran from that fight. I don't think
Nah, Mihawk
Mihawk
didn't
is
run
writing.
from that fight, bro.
He did not run from Shanks, but he doesn't want a handicap fight. That's what people don't
Yeah,
understand.
that's what I'm saying.
He's
That's
not
my whole thing with
interested in
Mihawk.
that.
That's my whole thing with Mihawk. He doesn't fight anybody like seriously unless he feels that they are like he's reached such a level that like he's not gonna just fight for fun. Like he fights for
Yeah.
the competition. Like the fact that like it's a battle to the death kind of thing, right? Like
That's what I'm saying,
and
because
that's why he
Marine
respected
Corps-
Zoro so fucking much when
Exactly,
that
bruh,
that
because-
scene and why he helped him later on because the way that he respected him because of that. Like I don't know, bro. I fuck with that. Like and you know too, we have. I mean, I don't know. I'm not fully caught up on the manga, so like it's hard to say, right? But we haven't even seen Zoro's full power, right? Because we don't know if there's something
What's
else
in his eye, bro?
yeah,
We don't know what's in his eye, bro.
we don't know what he could have possibly learned from Mihawk that hasn't been revealed, right? Because like
He hasn't gone all out since before the time skip. We have not seen anybody put him in a position where he's had to go all out before the time, like after
yeah,
the time
oh god,
skip
he was
happened.
just twerking on everybody on Wano, bro.
Yeah.
He was having
But see,
fun.
that's what I was